at West Georgia Technical College. I'm Donna Boyd-Gomez, and I'm the Special Populations Coordinator here. So again, welcome, and we are putting out some more chairs for everybody to feel close together and a little cozy, a little church-like, if I can say that even. Let me let you know what's going on, give you maybe a little refresher. So we are here this morning for an academic and motivational experience. All right. And in particular, we wanted to target our non traditional career path students. We have an emphasis today on leadership, and you're going to see a couple of great leaders come forward, and you're going to hear some information about leaders. Hopefully, you will be inspired. But many of you are in a very unique position in the fact that you have selected a non-traditional career. When we talk about non-traditional career, we're talking about as pertains to gender, those careers that are defined as being less than 25% represented. So, for example, that might be, simplistically speaking, so that might be, let's say, a gentleman who's interested in majoring in nursing or early childhood education, or it may be a female, and we have some of those. We've got some great female welding students. But I want to let you know a little bit more about those careers here at West Georgia Technical College and kind of what they look like and what our programs are. All right. So when we talk about non-traditional careers for women and what we have, we're talking about programs like air conditioning technology, automated manufacturing technology, commercial truck driving, criminal justice. Who would have imagined that being considered non-traditional career for a female? Computer and information systems, diesel equipment technology, electrical construction and maintenance, electronics and telecommunication, fire science technology, machine tool technology, engineering technology, and as I just said, welding and then joining technology. When we talk about gentlemen, and we think of non-traditional career according to their gender, we're talking about programs of study or majors such as accounting, business and office technology, cosmetology, dental hygiene. Who would have thought that for a gentleman that's considered non-traditional? Dental assisting, early childhood care and education, medical assisting, medical laboratory technology, nursing, and pharmacy technology. Moving on into our program, just want to let you know a little bit about what's going on around you. We do have some breakfast refreshments for our faculty and staff, and our guests over here manning that area is Chef Dennis Edwards. And then for students, as you came in, and I don't know if some of you were coming in hurriedly, but there are some snack items in the back. And then we do have some goodie gift bags for our students at the end of the program. Again, I want to thank you for coming. One person that was put in our minds when we talk about non-traditional careers is someone that belongs to us here at West Georgia Technical College. And remember, we're also talking about that added feature and that added piece pertaining to leadership. Mr. James Williamson is a two-time graduate of Moorhead State University in Kentucky. He attained an Associate of Science in Nursing, an ASN, and also a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, a BSN, in 2014. He attended Grand Canyon University in Arizona and graduated with a Master of Science with an emphasis in nursing education in 2018. Mr. Williamson has been a registered nurse for over 33 years with experience in both practice and leadership. Mr. Williamson has an extensive teaching background. His teaching specialties include medical surgical nursing, pharmacology, fundamentals of nursing, and maternity nursing. His particular clinical nursing interests include medical surgical nursing and geriatrics. In earlier years, Mr. Williamson was an instructor in the LPN program right here at West Georgia Technical College and the interim program director of the CNA program for 1 year, in addition to being the LPN program director and instructor years 2015 through 2021. Additionally, Mr. Williamson has taught at South College as well as in the ASN RN program at Atlanta Technical College, and that being from 2022 to 2024. So, Mr. Williamson could not be here with us this morning, but we are proud to reclaim him as ours. And as an RN instructor, he's at our LaGrange campus and has been back with us since May 2024 in that capacity. So, in his absence, we do want to say we do recognize Mr. Williamson for his exceptional contribution to the fields of both nursing and education in a non-traditional career field. So let's just applaud him in his absence. We appreciate it. At this time, we are going to have a presentation on leadership as pertains to what we offer here for our students in a unique position. And we're going to have our Skills USA advisor and manager of student engagement to come up at this time. So Miss Misty, come on up and talk to us.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. I see a few familiar faces in here, student-wise. So when I was afforded this opportunity by Miss Donna Boyd-Gomez, originally she was like, hey, I want to partner up and include Skills USA and showcase them because it's a leadership organization. I was like, great, let me know what you need. I sent her a flyer. I got her, some little giveaways. And then she said, also, could you speak about skills? I was like, perfect, yes. Because guess what, guys? I am recruiting actively right now. So this was perfect timing for that. But before I get started, I just want to give a little background. Not only am I the Skills USA advisor, but I'm also in the student life department. I'm the manager of student engagement. You guys probably have seen me at some of the activities on campus as well. So, but prior to me becoming the manager of student engagement for West Georgia Technical College, I have been at West Georgia Technical College since 2011, so 14 years. I actually started out in a field. And yes, I'm probably going to ramble a little, but I'm trying to give you a background story of why non-traditional students are so meaningful to me. Not that I don't love all students, don't get me wrong, but I started in athletics. I was hired on as a part-time, not even a part-time, a contracted assistant volleyball coach. And I got my foot in the door. I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to doing what I love, and that's sports. I was afforded the opportunity to play athletics at the collegiate level, both volleyball and basketball, and it provided me the scholarship money that I needed to receive my education. So back to when I started at West Georgia Tech, it was really just part-time. I was coaching, and then I got in here and I started meeting the players, and I got into the college, and I realized, wow, I really love these students so much. So it started progressing into I wanted to learn more, not just about athletics, but about higher education and about technical colleges. So as I moved in within, I became the administrative assistant for the athletic department. Then about 6 months later, I became an academic advisor for athletics. And so at that time, I was helping, advising, guiding about 100 students. Very micromanagement. I had to make sure that they were in the right amount of classes, the right classes, they had money, they were going to class, they were eligible to play. And I really got attached to the student. I got to know our students, I got to know our demographics. I got to see where they were coming from, and there was a lot of challenges that I saw students needed and what they needed. So moving forward to there, I stayed in athletics as an academic advisor. I eventually moved up to assistant athletic director. And then at the top of my athletic career, I became an athletic director. So I don't know if a lot of you know about athletics and sports, but how often do you see a woman athletic director? No. Maybe. Okay, we'll get that 25%. Let's give that 25 to 20%. So I was in a career in a field where it was dominantly males. I was in a room, I was in meetings, I was in conferences where I would be two of the women in the room. And it didn't bother me at all because I knew I had the leadership skills and I knew I had the knowledge to stand my ground, stand on my business, stand on the business, so to speak. So moving into that role, I again was, I had the opportunity, and then some things happened. Athletics was canceled, but in the meantime, I had built such a relationship with the college and my colleagues and the students that I was moved into the student life department as manager of student engagement. So moving forward to that, that's when my role changed, and I still was very student-centered. I didn't get to see students as much on the level that I did, but I still tried to find a way. So moving into my office in 2019, I was asked to help in a non-traditional forum to help. At the time, Zelma Jones, who's the Career Services Director now, at that time she was the Special Populations and Accessibility Services Coordinator, both of those jobs. She asked me if I wanted to join in on a non-traditional, at that time I think we did it virtually. And she just asked me to provide some resources. At that time we had student counseling, and I was over that. So I was just to provide those resources. And I was like, Zelma, could you provide me with a little background on what a non-traditional student was? Okay, hear me out. This is my moment here. I thought, I thought a non-traditional student coming from the university and college, I thought a non-traditional student was me. An older person that went back to school, to the college, and changed careers late in her life. And I was the non-traditional student because I was older. You know, I was in my 30s, okay? And she's like, no, it's a little bit different in the technical colleges. So I was like, oh, non-traditional students, non-trads, as we say, are these? They're the less, they're representing their industry or their skill or their program, and they're the least, you know, in their office, in their class. I was like, oh, I'm jumping on board, because these students that can take the step forward to be in a program that you are less than 25% in there and still know that you're going to gain the skills to get a job in that industry was right on point for me. Coming from athletics, being an athletic director, being around men all the time, and still standing my ground, was something that was near and dear to my heart. So that's my background on how I learned about non-traditional students and how I became student-centered. So I'm going to move into about 3 years ago, I was asked to take on another role in student life, and that was the Skills USA lead advisor. I was like, oh no, I don't think I can do it. I don't know a lot about it. And they were like, why not, Misty? You come from an athletic background. Skills gives you the opportunity to recruit your members, to show off their skills, to go to a conference, to go to a contest, win gold, silver, bronze, and compete at nationals. You are perfect for this job. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is a lot going on. I don't know if I could do it. So, going on 3 years now, I'm the lead advisor. And I just want to talk about Skills USA and how it's really inspired me to push forward in skills. Not only for myself, but for you guys, I want to give you the opportunity. And what I don't want to do is, I don't want you to think in your head, I've got so much going on my plate right now, I can't do this. I know I have the leadership skills. I know I have the skills in my trade, my technical skills, but I can't take on another thing in my life. I got kids at home. I got another job when I leave here. So what I'm here to tell you today is Skills USA is a leadership organization. It's based off the three skills framework, which is your technical skills, and that's grounded in academics, your workplace skills, and your personal skills, where the workplace skills and personal skills are developing all along. We're here at West Georgia Technical College to provide you the technical skills, to have you industry ready once you graduate, once you complete your program, to get into the job field. So Skills USA is just another level or resource that you get to show off not only your technical skill, there's over 100 contests that you can compete in. If there's not one specific to your technical skill, we have leadership skill contests. You could be in your head like, okay, I can so rock customer service. Job interview. I could so get ready for my next job and practice job interview. So there's a lot of different levels of membership that you could gain from Skills USA. Networking, scholarship opportunities, resume building. So I'm here to tell you, don't take on skills as a burden. There's 3 commitment levels. You can be a member, and you don't have to compete. You can work with me on activities, sponsored events. You can go. We do philanthropic events that you can get out into the community and volunteer. You can do both. You can compete. You can be a member as well. Or you can just compete in a contest that you choose. So I wanted to reach out and let you know that these are just some opportunities. Skills USA is huge, 300,000 students serviced in a year and advisors. So I didn't realize how big Skills USA was until I went to nationals this year. Got a gold. I did. Our member, she got gold in customer service, and so we went to nationals in Atlanta. It's paid for by our student activity funds. So your lodging, your transportation, your uniforms, you get a meal stipend, all that is covered. We want to take the burden and the barriers off of you for something that you might want to do. So I don't know if it's in the packet, but if it's not in the packet, I'm going to be here after we finish. Please come by and see me. I can sign you up membership-wise today if you're not already joined. How many are in here are already Skills USA members? I see a few. Okay. Okay. So if you want to sign up today, if you want more information about it, just reach out to me. My office is at the Murphy campus in Waco. We travel a lot, but I'm accessible, email, phone, here today. We can get you signed up. And just another bonus, we are waiving the $15 membership fee for the first 30 members, and I still have some spots available. So there's really no level of commitment that you have to worry about. So just after we finish today, you guys, if you have any questions or anything, just reach out to me, okay? Thank you. Oh, she told me I only had 1 to 2 minutes, by the way. Oopsie.
Thank you. All right, so thank you to our manager of student engagement for giving us a picture and some information regarding her personal background about leadership. Leadership is important. You all know that inherently. Why? Because we have student problems, we have people problems, there exists humanity problems, and we need problem solvers. So one thing that we're doing is to kind of take the message out there about what we can do here and how we're working toward becoming leaders and better leaders and impacting our communities. We do have Ms. Kayla here, who is our media specialist, and she is filming this program for us because we're going to share it with some more students about leadership. Okay, we're going to move on to recognition of a leader. And at this time, I am going to ask Ms. Melody Martin if you would come up with me. She is a program administrator with dental hygiene, and she is going to help me with our award. You can just kind of stand up here with me, so I'm not standing all alone. We have an award we want to share, and I am going to read a little bit about our awardee. Officer and now Sergeant Jennifer Turner has been in law enforcement for 21 years and has been with us at West Georgia Technical College for 11 years. And if I have it correct, I think she's been at this campus for about 10 years, a little bit on and off. Some of you certainly know her. Sergeant Turner's interest in law enforcement began after being exposed to and serving in the Police Explorer program as a teenager. Additionally, helping to pique her interest was her experience at Kennesaw State University working as a student assistant with the Department of Sociology, Anthropology, Geography, and Criminal Justice. While at KSU, an instructor guided her toward her first agency, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, where her passion was completely ignited. Interestingly, Sergeant Turner's twin sister also works in law enforcement. She's in Cobb County. Sergeant Turner shares being most proud of serving people. She feels a sense of accomplishment in being able to arrest lawbreakers. So watch out. This contributing to justice in our society. An additional source of pride stems from being promoted to sergeant right here at WGTC PD. All right, I see our chief in the background. While being in the role of a single parent, Sergeant Turner has been able to overcome some imagined and unimagined barriers and challenges in order to excel in her career. Sergeant Turner shares assumptions have been made regarding her ability to be effective since she's a female. She also shares that in her current role, working alone can prove a challenge, but she utilizes expertise in de-escalating situations prior to backup being needed or called. Sergeant Turner's advice to a female or anyone pursuing a non-traditional career path is to seek solid training. She goes on to say, don't be afraid to push against barriers. Be willing to demonstrate that you are capable and the best choice for a job or position. And so our employee recognition for outstanding service in a non-traditional career field is Sergeant Jennifer Turner. We're going to ask her to come. I saw her earlier. Where's Sergeant Turner? We're going to come up front. Come on up. She can say some words if she would like. Yes, so we are going to read her plaque. And it says, presented to Jennifer Turner. In honor of your unwavering perseverance, your courage in overcoming gender barriers and societal biases, and your exceptional commitment to serving with integrity and strength, you have not only stood resilient in challenging times, but have become a shining example of leadership and dedication. Your actions continue to inspire and empower women everywhere to pursue their calling with confidence and pride. With sincere appreciation and gratitude, we proudly present this award in recognition of your remarkable service, your trailblazing spirit, and your role as a beacon of hope and possibility. Awarded this 14th day of October 2025 for trailblazing excellence in non-traditional workplace roles. Please, I don't know if you want to come up and say a word or two. Is there something you'd like to share? Come on up, Chief. You're being long told. And we have something else for her. We have that. Something of a little monetary value these times. And we're going to let our Chief Officer, James Perry, say a word or two.
I'd just like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that participated in choosing Jennifer for this award. It's great when our officers are recognized. I really appreciate the work she's done. She has grown here at West Georgia Tech. I think she gets pushed sometimes by a mean old chief, but she can do a whole heck of a lot with a little bit of pushing. And she really cares about what she does. She puts a lot of effort into it. She goes the extra mile, and she believes in taking care of our students, faculty, and staff. So I congratulate her for this award. I think it's well deserved, and thank you all so much for recognizing her.
Yes. All right. And thank you for what you do. Now we are going to move on to the introduction of another leader. This is definitely a spotlight and highlight moment. And I'll just say that in this person I met during an event at Holiday last year, and they just exuded an aura of regality. Mayor Rochelle Robinson was elected mayor of the city of Douglasville, Georgia in 2015, winning a hotly contested race and making history as the first African American and first female mayor in the city's 140th year history. She was re-elected in 2019 without opposition and won the 2023 mayoral race by a landslide, now proudly serving her third term. Born and raised in Youngstown, Ohio, Mayor Robinson received her education in the Youngstown public school system and earned her degree from Youngstown State University. She also pursued studies at the University of Maryland in College Park, Maryland. A proud veteran, she served in the United States Army National Guard and built a distinguished career working in federal, state, and local government, including a notable stint with the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, in Washington, D.C. After relocating to Georgia, Mayor Robinson worked for Clayton County Mental Health and later served on the Douglasville City Council. She has been appointed to several boards and authorities over the years, including Wellstar Regional Hospital, West Georgia Technical College, where she served on our board from 2010 to 2016, also the Georgia Fellowship of the Church of God Credential Committee, the Douglasville Zoning Board, and served as vice chair of the Douglas County Board of Elections. And I may need just a little drop of water. There are a lot of contributions. After In addition to her role as mayor, she is actively involved in numerous civic and regional organizations. She's a member of the Rotary Club of Douglas County and currently serves on the Douglasville Douglas County Water and Sewer Authority Board of Directors, the Douglas County Economic Development Authority, known as Elevate Douglas, the Douglas County Chamber Governance Council, the Douglas County Services Health Board, and the Atlanta Regional Commission, ARC Board. She also holds positions on ARC's Transportation Air Quality Commission, the Georgia Municipal Association, GMA, Board, and serves as chair of the GMA Legislative Policy, Council Public Safety Policy Committee. I'm sorry, let me read that again. She serves as chair of the GMA Legislative Policy, Council Public Safety Policy Committee, vice chair of GMA District 3, and vice chair of the Metro Atlanta Mayors Association. And the acronym is MAMA, M-A-M-A. Additionally, she's an active member of the African American Mayors Association and the U.S. Conference of Mayors, where she serves on the Mayor's Water Council. Mayor Robinson is a proud Silver Star member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, initiated through the two Deltas, right? Okay, the two Deltas chapter at Youngstown State University. She's a member of the award-winning Sigma Omega Omega chapter, which serves as the Douglasville, Douglas County area. She has served in leadership within the sorority, including as chair of the Connections and Spiritual Oversight Committee. She's also a charter member of the National Council of Negro Women, Northwest Georgia chapter. A woman of faith, Mayor Robinson is an ordained minister, receiving her ordination through the Church of God Ministries in Anderson, Indiana. Her years of public service have earned her numerous honors, including the Presidential Volunteer Service Award and the Lifetime Achievement Award, both presented by President Barack Obama. She has been inducted into her high school's Hall of Fame and received formal resolutions from both the Georgia and Ohio General Assemblies. She was recognized as a Pioneer Leader of the Year by Georgia Senate District 35, named an Outstanding Georgia Citizen by the Secretary of State, and inducted into Who's Who in Black Atlanta. She has also been listed in the Atlanta Business Chronicle Book of Lists as one of the region's most influential leaders, and was named one of Atlanta Business League's top 100 women leaders for 4 consecutive years. Mayor Robinson has been happily married to Reverend Jeff Robinson for 30 years. Together they have 3 wonderful adult children, Joel, Olivia, and Anna Robinson, and recently welcomed their daughter-in-law, Erin Patterson Robinson, into the family as she, Mayor Robinson, impatiently awaits grandchildren. Let's just give a round of applause for that list of accomplishments. At this time, we're going to hear from Mayor Rochelle Robinson. She's going to share some of her thoughts about leadership, and we're just going to allow her to come on up. Thank you. You're all so quiet.
Thank you, so kind. I don't know where she got all of that information from, but that's wonderful. Thank you so much for having me this morning. It's such a blessing to be here. Thank you to Madam Coordinator Gomez, and that's a great leader right there. She can call you out and make you come on the stage and build your courage up to do things that you don't think you can do. But thank you so much for having me this morning again. And no disrespect to the men, but you know, we've been seeing some girl power on this stage today. So let's give all of these women a hand this morning. And Sergeant Turner, congratulations for being a trailblazer. Um, I just wanted to talk just a little bit. I'm not going to keep you all long. I know this is early in the morning, and I commend you for taking time out of your day to come and hear about anything. And from an little old lady that wants to come and talk to you about pursuing your passion. And so I'll talk about three things. People, that's very important. People, purpose, and passion. So people, meaning yourselves, first of all, as students here at West Georgia Technical College, I have a connection. Not only did I serve on the board of directors for 6 years and going to all the campuses throughout that time as a board of directors, setting policy, looking at classes, trying to help your experience to be better, but my middle daughter, Anna, well, the baby daughter, Anna, attended here, West Georgia Technical College, this campus, as a dual enrollment student from Douglas County High School, and she received a medical tract. Now, she said she was going to be a coroner, right? And she worked in the coroner's office. She did all that work. Then she went down to Savannah State and changed her major. I said, Anna, we went to dual enrollment and did all that work and got the medical tract and got your certification, and now you're changing your major. But it's okay, because we can be multifaceted and learn different things and just have more things in our toolbox. Well, she graduated in May with her degree in marketing and business from Savannah State. So the babies from Savannah State Tigers, I think they go like, ah. My middle daughter graduated from Kennesaw State, hootie hoo. Don't know if there's some hootie hoos in the house. In animation, and she's at a STEM program, which is not a lot of women, a non-traditional degree. And our son went to Georgia Southern. Now, Joel needed a little more support when he was at Georgia Southern. He had a lot of fun down at Georgia Southern. So my husband had to come and grab him up. He was flying high, marching in the band on the swim team. I said, Joel, this is not high school. It's a little bit different. So he came back and he went to Georgia Highlands. And then he went to the fire academy. So, college, the 4-year track is not for everyone sometimes. You just try to put more things in your toolbox. So he did complete his training in the fire academy in Forsyth County. He is a firefighter, EMT, paramedic, and he's stationed in station number 5, which is on Central Church in Chapel Hill. And he got married this year. And like I told him when he got married, I said, hurry up and have some babies so I can be a grandma. But so that's my husband and I and our family. So we have a connection with the technical college, not only by me serving on the board, but by my daughter attending as well. But people, purpose, and passion, and trying to be a leader, sometimes we don't start out thinking like, I didn't ever say when I was little, I want to be the mayor. I want to be in politics. It's really, I'm a person of faith. And so in the Bible, there was a man named Moses, and he was a great leader and kind of a reluctant leader. He didn't really want to do some of the things that God called him to do. And when he came to a very serious obstacle in his path and in his journey, where he had to cross a Red Sea, and in life it seems like that's, for us sometimes, we come to something that's insurmountable, it looks like a tsunami and we can't cross it. And he's like, God, what am I going to do? I have all these people following me, and now I'm at the Red Sea, and I don't know what to do. And God said, what's in your hand? And he looked in his hand, and it was a staff. And he had used that staff before. So for us, the same thing in our lives. When we have obstacles and we get to crossroads, we have to look into what's in our hands, what's in our toolbox. And for me, growing up, my toolbox and what was in my hand was my training with my mom. My mother, I'm like a child of the 60s. I was born in the 60s, and I have my AARP card. I can go to Ross on Tuesdays. Today is Tuesday. I get 55 $55 you get a discount. So, but my mom, growing up in our house in the 60s, she was part of the movement. And so it was like a civil rights movement. And I used to sit with her when people would come to our house, and they would have all these meetings. And they were talking about, what we're going to do and what needs to happen in the community. And so my mom, when I was 9, she said, we're going to the Board of Education. We're going to march on the Board of Education. And I said, well, what are we marching for? And she said, we're marching for equality in books. And I just started thinking, I said, well, you're talking about books at South High School? That's not my high school. And she said, Rochelle, it doesn't matter whose high school it is or whose community. If we're all in community together, it may not be your side of town or your school, but we're community. She said, so all of us are going to march together for equality in books because we're only as strong as the weakest link in our village. So I said, okay, so I think that was a lesson for me to not just be worried about myself, but for people that are around me that we're all in the same community. So that was like a little seed planted in my heart from my mom to be a community person and to give back. So not thinking I was going to grow up and be the mayor, I just wanted to serve. And in my service, like my dad was in the military, he was in the Korean War. It got to a point after high school where I wanted to go to college. My sister was already in school, and I'm talking to my dad. I'm like, okay, Daddy, I want to go to school. And he said, okay, we're going to do it, but it's expensive. You know, your sister's there. We got two coming behind you. And I went on campus, and someone talked about the GI Bill and going to the military to pay for school. So I said, guess what? I'm going to the military. So the volleyball coach and academic and student advisor, I was a cheerleader in high school and ran track and all of that. So I said, I can do the military. I'm going to go ahead to basic training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and that's going to pay for school. So it's building my toolbox, right? And so I went to the military, went to the Army to pay for school in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, came back home. I'm all excited at Youngstown State, having a great time. And then, so the GI Bill pays for tuition. That's it. Housing, books, all the other stuff is on you. So I'm at school. My dad was a drove trucks. He had his own business. He worked for Ohio Fast Freight, 18-wheeler, driving trucks, and mechanic. So you see, our family is from trades, blue-collar family, hardworking family. And so my dad was like, I said, Daddy, I have to get this history book, and it's $80. And he said, you got to wait for a couple of weeks, because I just got your sister some books, and your brothers are still in school. The same story, right? And so you have to look and see what's in your toolbox. And I'm staring in the bookstore. I know you young people don't know about this. There used to be a thing called a telephone. You would go and pick up the telephone and dial. It wasn't a cell phone. It was an actual, you walk up to the phone booth, and pick up the phone call. So I'm picking up the phone, calling my dad, telling him I need a book, a history book, and he says, you gotta wait 2 weeks until I get paid. I have already been in the history class for like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm behind. I can't wait 2 more weeks. So I hung up the phone and I put my head down in the student center bookstore, and I was getting ready to cry, and I looked up and something said, cheerleading tryouts, book tuition. I said, what? Cheerleading? I can do that? I was a cheerleader in high school, so, it's like Moses with whatever's in your hand. So that's about people learning about things around you, what's going on in your community. So I said, okay, I'm going to try out for cheerleading. I went to the cheerleading tryouts. I walked in the room. I was the only brown girl in the room. I said, oh, Lord, what's going on? I'm nervous now, But it's okay. I went to high school was like that. There's 12% minorities in Ohio. So I'm used to being in a mixed crowd with mixed people and people from all walks of life. So I said, I'm just going to try. Now, I'm used to, when I was in high school, we did my name. That's how I changed. At Youngstown State, it was, what? You, woo! So I'm picking up in the air, spinning around, and doing the turkey. And I said, woo, wait, I don't know if I can do that. But I needed those books. So I said, I'm going to try out for cheerleading. And I did it, and I became the second black cheerleader in Youngstown State University's history. And it's not that I was trying to break barriers, but it's part of leadership. It's part of being a passion and learning your purpose. And for me, I needed books. I couldn't wait 2 more weeks for my daddy to get my history book. So I needed to do what I needed to do. And in your life, sometimes you'll get pushed, and you have to look way down deep and think about what you have, what your skill sets are, what your talents and gifts are. And as I said, a person of faith, God will open a door because your gifts and talents will make room for you. They'll open opportunities. So I did that. I became a cheerleader, continued to stay at Youngstown. Okay, now graduation is coming, and I have all these recruiters in the room, and you don't know where you're gonna go after you graduate. You need a job. You've been there 4 or 5 years. Some people 4.5, Joel, I don't know how many years, but anyway, continue to stay in school. And there was a table there, and it said CIA. And I thought it was the Culinary Institute of America. What do you mean? The CIA, CIA? So, but being in the military, I had a secret clearance. So I said, well, let me apply. So I applied, and they asked everyone about me from my fourth grade teacher all the way up, going to the homes with these black suits on, doing a background investigation. And by the time graduation came, I got recruited in the agency, moved to Washington, D.C., worked for CIA for 8 years in law enforcement. And so I understand about law enforcement, Sergeant Turner. So I went to FLETC, which is in Glencoe, Georgia, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, got trained there. So again, a non-traditional role, being with police officers, being in law enforcement, going to the federal government, traveling in different parts of the world, learning different things, and learning how to deal with people. So your student advisor talked about one of the tracks being, I think it was interpersonal skills or something, just everyday talking to people. My kids are 23, 25, and Joel will be 27. And they're used to being on the phone. They're used to kind of not, during the pandemic, especially, not having interaction. But sometimes, like I tell my son, you have to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. Or you need to go in their face and talk to people. So that's something about people learning, trying to build your confidence to have those interpersonal skills. So that's people, learning about your skill set, learning what's in your hand, your purpose. My purpose was setting a goal for education, setting a goal for my career, and following through with that purpose. And not letting anything get in your way and trying to bend like a palm tree and not break like an oak tree, and dealing with things when they come in your life. So having someone around you, having a village around you to support you, is your people to help you with your passion, and then your purpose, your why. So not only getting whatever track you're in, whichever program you started, your people that are around you, your village, your people, your family, your friends, your squad, but your passion. Once you receive your purpose, go walking in your purpose and your passion, having passion for that for all of your life. And if that means continuing to, like I told my kids, I said, okay, everyone's graduated now, you're out of the house. Kind of sort of. Olivia is back home from Kennesaw. She graduated, but now she's back in the house because she wants to go to grad school. But I said, everyone's gone, I'm going back to school for myself. So continuing to learn. We've been sitting as the mayor. Now, the mayor came about, I don't even know how. I was on city council. I got pregnant with Anna, and I said, let me just finish out my term, and I'm going to go to the church. My husband start pastoring. I'm going to sit on the front row, put my hat on like a first lady, and just smile at everybody. Look, everyone, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. But that's not what God had for me. I was serving on the West Georgia Technical College Board of Directors with Bill Hightower of Hightower Funeral Homes, with Ken Leonard, who now is the mayor of Peachtree City. So I thought that was it for me, but people kept saying, you did such a wonderful job as a council member, you should run for mayor. I said, nah, that's not me. And then when I looked at the statistics, I said, ooh, there hasn't been a woman, black or white, Hispanic, Asian, hasn't been a woman ever, or a minority ever, since 1875? Are you crazy? Did you think I want to do that? But guess what? I remember when I went to cheerleading tryouts, I was the only person who looked like me. And sometimes when you walk in these rooms and you're the only one, or you're the first in your family, you can do it. Just look back in your life and see what you've done before. So that thing you've done in the past is a predictor of what you can do in the future. So I said, okay, I'm going to try this. I'll see, they want me to run for mayor. And it wasn't just about the people. It really was about what I thought God wanted me to do to make the city better. And so I said, okay, I'm going to run. So I ran in 2011, But you've heard the coordinator say I won in 2015. So guess what happened in 2011? I ran in 2011, and there were two other guys in the race. In Georgia, you need 50% plus one to win. I had 49%. I was leading by 1,500 votes. We went in a runoff. Here we go, it's a runoff in 2011. I got to the final day, and I lost by 88 votes. Dun, dun, dun. My son said he went to school, they were like, Joe, your mom's a loser. He was in middle school, that's what happens in middle school. So I said, okay, well, I don't know why you wanted me to do that, Lord. They asked me to do it. I thought I could make a difference, moving from city council to the mayor's seat. But I don't know what it was for. My feelings are hurt. I'm kind of embarrassed that I lost the race. But the race isn't given to the swift or the strong. It's to the one that endures to the end. And sometimes in life, you can try something and you know it's what you're supposed to do, and you give it your all, and it doesn't work that time. But that does not mean that you have to give up. If that's your purpose and your passion is to serve, which was my passion, and your passion could be welding, your passion could be mechanics, your passion could be HVAC. So you have to keep going. You can fall sometimes, but it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up and keep doing it. So I said, okay, well, let me just go on about my business and serve on the technical college and the hospital board and, well, in WSA, the water department. So I continue to serve. I'm at the church with my husband. I'm sitting on the front row with my hat on as the first lady. I got my 3 puddle ducks. Life is good. I ran the race, Lord. I did what you said. I'm all good. But 4 years later, but it was maybe 4 years. Every time we look somewhere to eat, we're at the Lobster, Longhorns, whatever in the community, people are saying, would you please run again? I was like, no, I lost. It's embarrassing. But my passion was to serve. And I thought, Lord, I'm serving on all these boards. I know you don't want me to run for mayor again because I lost. I lost by 88 votes. It wasn't even like a landslide. It was very close. And sometimes that hurts even more when you're trying to obtain a goal and you get really close and you don't make it. You can get discouraged. But I said, you know what? If this is what God called me to do, I'm going to do it. So I was driving down Fairburn Road and I saw this poster or billboard. And it was like, I think it was a law firm or something. And then it seemed like the law firm just wasn't there anymore. So I pulled over because it was a strange sight. And in my mind's eye, I could see a scripture that's very familiar to me from 2 Chronicles. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and heal the land. I was like, is a billboard saying that? Is in my mind? So I knew that I had to run again. And whatever signs are in your life, I'm telling you that story, whatever signs, whatever your grandmother or your friend or someone says to you that you feel is like, you're talking to me. You need to listen to those signs. So that's the people around you, your passion, your purpose. So I ran again in 2015, and this time I unseated the mayor. I won every precinct. And, it was a runoff again. I think I got 50%. I gotta remember the story. So it was 50%. The first time was 49% in 2011. In 2015, it was 50%. I needed 1%. So we went into a runoff again. I said, oh no, it's gonna be the same thing. I can't believe it. And sometimes in life, it can look like the exact same thing is gonna happen, but the outcome is different. So it was November 6, 2015. That was the 60th anniversary that Rosa Parks sat down on the bus in Birmingham, Alabama, in the Civil Rights Movement. So I got out of the shower and my husband said, honey, today is the 60th anniversary for Rosa Parks, and I started crying. He said, what's the matter? I said, it's gonna be different today. The runoff is gonna be different. So I went in, and that's when I won. I unseated the current mayor. I won every precinct, and I think it was like 70%. And so when I was standing up to do my inaugural speech, I just thought about Rosa Parks, and I said, Rosa Parks sat down on the bus so I can stand in Douglasville and my daughters can run. So it was a different outcome. And that's about your passion. So leadership sometimes, for me, I'm really a quiet person. I'm kind of introverted. When I take all those tests, I'm right on the cusp of being an introvert and an extrovert. I like Little Bear when I was little, in the fourth grade, reading books, sitting under the steps. I have a book now on my desk, on my nightstand, The Davenports, and another inspirational book. So I can sit in the house and read a book. The pandemic for me was fun because I like staying in the house and doing things, so I don't have to go outside and talk to people. But as a leader, sometimes you're going to be pushed out of your comfort zone to do things that your gifts and talents that God has for you. So I'm a reluctant leader, but I'm a passionate leader to do the things that the Lord has called me to do. Now, in the 10 years, if you've been here in Douglasville, I'm going to tell you some of the things that have been happening so that you can see that God can take an ordinary person like me that just has a passion to serve, and whatever you're serving, whatever you're doing, that he can take your things that might seem ordinary and make them extraordinary. So in the 10 years I've been mayor, we've been able to build an amphitheater. I don't know if you've been there. It's on Church Street. It's an amphitheater town green. So great concerts. Last week we had Gavin DeGraw. He was great. Gavin DeGraw, El DeBarge, Gladys Knight, Brian McKnight, Robin Thicke, Gerald Albright, all kinds of Leanne Rhymes, just wonderful artists. Boney James. So we have another concert series coming up, and they're free tickets. You just go online and get the tickets, and you can come to the concerts. We seat about 3,000 people. So not only that in the amphitheater, but yoga on the green is free. We have the chili cook-off this weekend. It's going to be at the town green. So a gathering space. We're going to have a new city hall in downtown. I've implemented all this Christmas stuff. If you come to downtown Douglasville at Christmas time, it looks like winter wonderland. Lights are everywhere. It's so much fun. So I implemented a Christmas family. Every year I choose a family from the community and honor them. They're on the sleigh. There's like Santa Claus, the kids give them stuff. So this year's going to be 80 West Dance Studio. It's a studio in the community. They've won like all these national dance competitions. But I've had the Miracle League as my family. I have local folks that have been the family, the Souls. They're a Catholic family that live in Chapel Hill. They had 9 kids, and that lady had 9 children. Woo-wee. So anyway, so I honor Christmas family every year. Instituted the Christmas family internship program. There wasn't an internship program in the city of Douglasville for college students, for students that are in high school. So we have a youth council at the city and an internship program. So students from our community, when they become juniors and seniors in high school and college, they can apply for the summer internship program at the city of Douglasville. And then we have them when they're graduates, they can do an internship program with the city before they move on to somewhere else, or they can stay in the city of Douglasville. So I implemented the internship program, the town green. We've resurfaced over 400 streets. We have 32 groups that clean up the city of Douglasville. So we won a gold award this year from Governor Kemp for having a really aggressive Keep Douglasville Beautiful program. It's part of the Keep Georgia Beautiful, Keep the United States Beautiful program. We have 33 folks that come, groups that clean up streets. Fairburn Road, Hospital Drive, all over, they're picking up trash every month. So that's one of the programs that we have. So internship program, Keep Douglasville Beautiful, what else? The cleanup programs, we planted trees. So it's a whole lot of things that we do, provide services. We have the chief, our chief, police chief, and I don't know if the chief knows it here, but Dr. Gary Sparks is the chief of the year for the state of Georgia. And our police department is the police department of the year from the GBI Academy, which is part of the FBI academies. So just continuing to move the city forward. We have 6 months of reserve. We're not in trouble. We're not in the newspaper where we're getting all kinds of things said bad about the city. We have a recycling center we opened. We did the ribbon cutting last week. So if you live in the city, you know we stopped recycling during the pandemic. And we're opening it back up now as a program off of Chicago Boulevard. So you can bring your trash and put recycles in all of those bins. So lots and lots of programs. And now I'm here to answer questions. So I hope I've taught you a little bit about people, just having people around you to support you, your purpose, finding what you want to do, and not giving up to get it done, even if you change, even if you do the medical track at West Georgia Technical College as a dual enrollment student, and you go to college and change to do something totally different, but having your purpose and your passion. Your passion is never giving up, continuing to move forward and being a forever learner. So I hope I've said anything or something to encourage you today and to let you know that you can just be a regular person that's 5'2" and do great things if you have some courage and just step out on faith. So thank you so much, and I open the floor for questions after this.
I would like to, since you seem to have a few minutes,
Yes, ma'am.
at the end, we have a couple of round tables, and we want to seat you at one of the tables, just for whatever
Okay.
time you can accommodate. We
Yes,
can eat a
ma'am.
little bite, and if there's some students or some people maybe want to stop by for 15 minutes after we're done, and talk with Mayor Robinson.
They don't have questions? You want to ask them?
We'll take a couple of questions. I want to be mindful of everybody's time, but I'm loving this community aspect of Mayor Robinson right here, person centered. There are a couple of questions. We'll take a couple, but we are going to have her at the end, the back table, for a few minutes. Okay. Liz, young lady. Oh my, okay. Got you on my side too, okay.
I was wondering, here you are. I was wondering, when you were a little girl, what did you imagine you would be when you grew up? And does it fit in line with what you ended up doing?
When I was a little girl, let me think of what I wanted to do. You know what? I wanted to be a sport commentator because, as the coach was saying, so I was in cheer, track, gymnastics, ballet. So I really thought, like, I want to go to school and be a sports, do an announcer at our local station. So that's what I went to school for. It just all changed. I had degrees in communications, but I'm not a sports commentator. I got recruited by the CIA. And so my kids were always like, Mommy, what'd you do in the CIA? I said, I'll tell you what So, but it just changed like my father. So, just opportunities. So you can, not to say that